Doesn't seem that you like fighting. I like marshmallows. What's that got to do with anything? Well, I'm hungry, and your bald head looks like one. What did you say?
This necessarily wasn't what I initially had in mind when thinking about Dragon Ball. Beforehand, I envisioned the show taking itself a lot more seriously, but frankly, I actually really like this lighthearted approach the show does take. This is especially the case within the show's first tournament arc. It's split up into two parts. The first half is where Goku trains with Roshi, and the latter half is, well, the actual tournament. In this video, I'm going to go over the tournament arc as a whole, and I'm going to discuss my thoughts, my opinions, and I'm going to be summarizing a little bit of the plot, though I'm not going to do too much of that because I don't really want to bore you guys. In the meanwhile, if you guys are enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and join the Shift Squad. I only mention this because, as of recording this, 96% of you guys who watch my videos overall don't subscribe, so I just want to get that word out there. At the end of the day, though, I completely understand it's your choice. You know, I completely understand. Nevertheless, first thing that we have to go over is the majority of the characters, including Bulma, Yamcha, Por, Oolong, depart away, and at first I was a little bit worried about this, because part of the appeal, at least that I said and I mentioned in my first video, is a lot of these characters play off Goku's weird personality, and vice versa too as well, and the way these characters interact with one another is what really makes the show very enjoyable. Goku being alone and not having anybody to interact with was what I thought was going to be the show's downfall. But rest assured, Krillin makes his grand debut, and man, what a fresh breath of air. He's an ultimate smartass, but that's what just makes his character so fun to watch. He has this air of relatability, the kind of relatability that people have with Squidward. Krillin serves as Goku's rival. I'll get onto that a little bit later. On a side note, however, while gathering footage for this video, I stumbled upon this one comment, and I felt like I needed to share this to make my point clear. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually was the case. I don't know how true this is. All I can say from my experience, once Krillin stepped into the picture, my interest in Dragon Ball drastically skyrocketed. It's absolutely insane how one character can really change the game up. Right now, this is just me throwing some ideas around, but I'm interested in doing a Krillin analysis video of sorts, at a later date, of course, once I'm up to speed with his full character arc. Tell me how you guys feel about that idea down in the comments. Now, look, as much as I hyped up Krillin, I'm currently debating with myself whether he's my favorite character currently over Master Roshi. For my last video, I hinted that I would discuss about his character, because in this arc, the best of Roshi shines.
It's tough to see such beauty wasted on the young.
So hungry.
I wonder what Launch wears when she sleeps.
The dude's a pervert, it's weird, and I suppose disturbing, but it's absolutely hilarious when it all plays out perfectly. Every time this dude's on screen, something wild or obscenely awkwardly funny is just going to happen. Too many memorable scenes to mention in one video, but I personally believe everything clicks when each of the three, Goku, Krillin, Master Roshi, and sometimes Launch too, play off one another. This is the perfect combo of characters I've ever seen. And this brings me to mention the training done before the World Martial Arts Tournament, and it's some really terrific stuff overall. This may sound strange, but maybe a little bit psychotic, but seeing these two suffer genuinely puts a smile on my face. The amount of bullshit Roshi puts these poor children through is absolutely insane, and no normal person would be able to do these kind of things. It's enjoyable to see how the boys react. Goku, of course, is the sort of individual that doesn't complain and would never doubt his master's words, even when at times he should. I swear though, just some of the things this kid says, I just don't really know what to comment back.
Take a good look at this stone. Have you memorized it?
I think so. Are you going to eat it?
What? No, Goku!
Krillin, though, it's a complete night and day difference, often cutting corners at any given opportunity.
Zig 2, Zag 4. Krillin, you're a genius. Zag 4, Zig 2, Zag 4, Zig 2, Zag...
Krillin!
Now start over, sir. No!
Seeing these two contrast with one another is just extremely entertaining, and again, they play off very well, and Master Roshi being the mediator and all this is the cherry on top of this chaos. Dude, like, some of these shenanigans, like, they're shenanigans, but some of these shenanigans are just so fucking stupid, but I love it, dude. Like, this is what I live for. The weird, awkward moments that nobody, like, talks about. Like, it's so fun. It's just so fucking fun to watch this. By the end of their training, it's extremely satisfying to see how strong our heroes have gotten. You also have to remember as well, the training has been going on for about 9 months, so it's a very natural progression of gaining power. A lot of time has passed to where the World Martial Arts Tournament is about to begin. This is where I'd say the second half of this arc begins. And not gonna lie, I was a bit worried again that this is where things could also go downhill. Don't get me wrong, having battles in an anime is great. In fact, it's a staple. But I was afraid that having fight after fight after fight would sort of allow the stories and characters to take more of a back seat. Thankfully though, my assumption was false. In fact, it's quite the opposite within certain regards. These fights put a nice spotlight and emphasis on the characters, including of course Krillin, Goku, Yamcha. Oh, and yeah, by the way, the crew from the first arc is back, which made me happy to see the cast reunite. Aside from old faces, we do get some new ones as well. There's Nam, then there's this dude who kinda looks like Ridley, this hot chick. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, a major con of this entire arc is that the competitors, at least most of them, they sort of feel forgettable and one-dimensional. Though I will say, an exception to that rule is Nam. He does get some interesting backstory. I initially thought that Nam was going to win the entire tournament because his backstory, or at least his motive for joining this tournament, was to use the prize money to purchase water for his dying village. And they really want to nail this point home. They really want the viewer to feel bad for him and sympathize with him. And I was afraid of this because I didn't want the other characters to forfeit their matches or go easy on him just to do a good deed. Thankfully though, Goku does end up defeating Nam, and you know, at least within Nam's case, he does get help and he does receive water from the help of Master Roshi. Or should I say, Jackie Chung. This whole run-on joke is so fucking stupid, but that's what just makes it so great and amazing in the first place. Dude, for some reason, I can't stop saying Jackie Chung. Even while I'm recording this video and when I'm doing work or even cooking or something, I always just say his name to myself. It just rolls right off the tongue so great. I always try to do like a Yamcha impression or like one of the commentators. It's like, Jackie Chung has won the tournament! Oh shit, I spoiled that, but like still, man, I don't even know. I can't stop saying Jackie Chung. Either way, the reason why Roshi is participating in disguise is more interesting than I originally anticipated.
Yes, that's why I came, to see to it that he doesn't win this tournament. You see, Goku and Krillin are just boys. All they're really interested in is having fun. To them, martial arts is an amazing game. They live to get better at it in the hopes that one day they'll be able to hang with the best. They have no idea that they're already at the pinnacle of the sport. I'm afraid that if they knew, they would lose interest, because if you're on the top, then there's nothing left to shoot for. But if they think that there are guys out there that are stronger than they are, like Jackie Chan for instance, then they'll continue to give it everything they have, training like the wild animals they really are, totally carefree and uninhibited, without a trace of ego. So, Nam, I don't want Goku and Krillin to know how great they really are. That's why I came, to beat the pants off of them.
The way Roshi states this, it's just so deep. He's a teacher that truly cares about his students. It's a side of him that doesn't really get represented as much until now. It transforms his character from a one-dimensional, funny, perverted creep to evolve into a three-dimensional Master Roshi. A Master Roshi that will go out of his way to do what's best in the long term, rather than allowing his students to indulge in a short-term victory. And what a good lesson. It's so true and could be applied to my life and I'm sure many others. Personally, Master Roshi helped me out. That's the kind of shit I live for. When a story or character teaches me a life lesson. I don't know, maybe it's silly to emphasize this point, but it's the moment where you pause an episode and you just think and it just leaves you so speechless. I'm currently past episode 100 and if I can vividly remember this scene, that has to mean something. This is going to segue myself into talking about the final fight between Goku and Master Roshi, or should I say Jackie Chung. And I got it, overall speaking, it was a wonderful fight, and I think it was a great way to end this tournament arc. I couldn't have seen it gone down any other way. In addition to that, I really enjoy the fact that really, like, it's student versus master in this regard, even though Goku obviously doesn't know he's versing Master Roshi, but I think that's kind of what makes it better in this case. He's going to use all his full power against a quote-unquote stranger. This is kind of a rare thing for me personally, but this is a time where I wasn't rooting for the protagonist. I actually really wanted Jackie Chung to win for a few reasons. One, I mean, I just kind of like the play on joke. Two, I'm a fan of Master Roshi, of course. And three, I didn't want Goku to win because I felt like that would have been the quote-unquote predictable thing to happen. I wanted the unexpected thing to happen, if that makes any sense. Another great thing to note during this fight was when Goku transformed into the ape creature. I don't know the name of it, but still, we're just gonna play along with that. Frankly, I really wasn't expecting this to happen, though within the fight itself, it does even the playing field between him and Roshi. And I gotta say, when Roshi destroys the moon, it took me by complete surprise. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I thought that it was just going to be, okay, Goku doesn't die from the Kamehameha wave. You know, he just kind of shrugs it off like he kind of sort of does usually, but no. And then it's just like the puzzle pieces connect because you're like, wait a minute, where the fuck is the moon? And it just makes you think, wow, Master Roshi is so powerful. Like, what is he holding back? Was he holding back? I mean, I'm gonna presume not, but it's absolutely amazing. It's an iconic moment within this arc, I definitely would say. Also, one thing I forgot to add, it's really nice to see Krillin start appreciating Goku, especially when everybody thinks he's dead. You know, he's crying out for his friend, hoping he's still alive, and I think this is an overall good thing because it shows that Krillin is evolving enough to start caring about Goku, not as a rival necessarily, but as a true good friend. And he's sort of departing himself from being an ultimate jerk to just being a little bit of a sarcastic prick that has a heart inside. And in the end, I really like the sportsmanship behind all this. Even though Yamcha, Krillin, Goku, even though they all technically lost at the end of the day, they all keep their heads up high, and while they all have a similar goal of winning the tournament, they also share the goal of getting stronger. I just kind of like this humbleness overall. And best of all, when Goku literally destroys the restaurant bill, man, I love that scene. That is great. And also, it's just a big fuck you to Roshi, man. Even though he won the tournament, he's not the one getting the last laugh. All that money he won is gone, and all due to Goku. I love that little spite at the end. And I believe this concludes my review of this saga. And I'm not gonna lie, it was extremely enjoyable, and it caught me by surprise. While I do prefer the first half over the second half, I think each of them have their own pros and cons. A lot of great characters were introduced, Krillin and Launch. I didn't really get to talk about Launch too much, but for what she is right now in the story, I do enjoy her character, and we do get a couple of laughs from her. It's just such an all-around good arc. There's so much to enjoy here. There's so many new things. It's great. Like, I'd say this is the reason why you would want to watch the original Dragon Ball first before Dragon Ball Z, because I know a lot of people just skip to Z, and this would be my argument against that. This arc alone, it has so many good things going for it, but what must come up must come down. Tune in next week to see what I think about the next Dragon Ball Saga. Trust me, people, this one's going to be a little bit shaky. Nevertheless, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I 100% appreciate it, and have an absolutely wonderful day.